Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina may yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu amma ba'd. A'udzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa nazzalna alayka al-kitaba tibyanan likulli shay'in wa hudan wa rahmatan wa bushra lil muslimin. Sadaqallahul azim. Sanurihim ayatina fil afaqi wa fi anfusihim hatta yatabayyana lahum annahu al-haq. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما ربي زدنا علما. Dear brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the last video I announced that we'll have a brief discussion or a summary of the most important events of 2014, of the entire year, from an Islamic eschatological perspective. We intend to do so in this particular video. So we'll cover the incidents one by one. As far as my understanding goes, the two most important events that has happened in 2014 are both related to what I would call, or what is generally being referred to as, the Third World War or World War III. These are signs of the impending start, if not it has already started. So of the impending start, at least, of the Third World War, which is otherwise referred to in the Islamic literature as al-Malhama al-Kubra or al-Malhama al-Uzma. In the Christian eschatology, it is referred to as Armageddon. These three, that is World War III, Armageddon and Malhama, refer or indicate to the same event. So the two most important events that have happened, false flag events, or whatever events you may call it, the first and the most important being ISIS. It had to be ISIS, isn't it? 2414 belongs to ISIS. ISIS proclaiming caliphate for itself, proclaiming Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi as the Khalifa for the first time, and they decided to do so in the first of Ramadan in 2014. That's when they announced. So about ISIS, we have had extensive analysis. We don't intend to make this 2014 analysis big, huge. We want to keep it very short. This is sort of a reminder, just capturing the flashback or the trailers and putting it over here. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to raise, or this is what we call a false flag operation, What they've tried to do is to play with the emotions and the psychology of the masses, especially the Muslims, into believing, and we have seen the results, what has happened later on. All my previous analysis has to do with such discussions. A majority of them are dedicated to discussions about the ISIS. So we have seen the results. And we've also now known, at least I have made it clear from my side, that previously it was abundantly clear, and I had made it abundantly clear as well through my analysis, that ISIS is a Zionist organization. It appears to be Muslim, but it's a Zionist offshoot organization. It's a Zionist front organization, which is installed by its Zionist masters, which is serving their Zionist masters and working on the Zionist agenda. That's what ISIS is all about, and that's what Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is all about. A fraud, a fake Khalifa and a fake caliphate system. What they're essentially doing is carving out a territory for themselves, which corresponds basically to the greater Israel territory, which the Jews had always wanted to capture. And so they are doing it through their front organization. They're doing it in an excellent strategic initiative. They're not having to shed blood directly. All the blame is upon the Muslims, and simultaneously they're able to malign Islam the way they like in the media. And once they have raised sufficient negative collective consciousness against the ISIS, they will be able to very easily take control of the entire territory. So that's how easy it would be for them. An amazing strategy. We always knew that the plan for the greater Israel will be fulfilled in some, it had to be fulfilled. But even I could not have uh, visualized that they are going to do it so tactfully, so strategically, without even a single blame coming back upon them for any bloodshed or whatever. So this is the entire plot. And the second is the main tussle for the Third World War has to be between the two major powers of the world today. And we all know who they are. On the one side, we have the Zionist alliance of Israel, America, and Britain, and its allies, France, etc., and its many allies. And on the other side, we have Russia and the allies of Russia, the Russian bloc. So this is where the main conflict, this is what is going to propel into the Third World War. And they have made Ukraine and the confusion and the events surrounding Ukraine as a basis for all of these activities. The issue of Crimea came up, the issue of Syria and the naval ports and the bases which Russia had in Syria. So you had the turmoil in Syria, and Crimea is very strategic to Russia. Crimea is actually very strategic for Russia. So there is a consciousness in Crimea, in eastern Ukraine, what used to be Russian territory in the past, Crimea and eastern Ukraine, that they actually want to go back to Russia. But then, you know what has happened, what has unfolded in the entire year. And these are tensions that are building up, which is very clear. It's eventually forcing itself towards the Third World War, or the Malhama, or Armageddon, as eschatologists, Muslims and Christians usually refer it to as. So these are the two main events. So if we move ahead, there are two disasters about the airplanes, the two incidents, and the loss of life that goes along with it, which is very saddening for us. So those are the other two major disasters which happened this year. And if we move ahead, we have the four major attacks, terrorist attacks or terrorist threats, so to say, in the world emerging. The primary is obviously the ISIS. The second would be Boko Haram in Nigeria. And the third would be the Sydney attacks. And the number four is the Peshawar attacks in Pakistan, just this month itself. So these are four threats or attacks, whatever you call it. We would call the ISIS and Boko Haram as threats. And we have no, we admit they're threats. We do not consider it to be Muslims. Some Muslims may be offended. You're calling Muslims, as a Muslim, you're calling Muslims as threats. This is unacceptable. No, they're not Muslims. We have made it clear. You can go through my entire weekly analysis for 2014, the monthly analysis for December, and that should suffice, basically. So, and the other two about Sydney and Peshawar, these are attacks. So we are aware of these and we report it as such. So we are aware of these and we report it as such. I think that pretty much concludes, that pretty much summarizes what has happened in 2014. For more details, obviously you can go back to my weekly analysis for 2014 as well as the monthly analysis which we had done for December. And inshallah, we'll continue with our analysis and our other activities in 2015. This is 2015 already, mid-Jan. We'll continue with those activities and we'll just keep on uploading new videos. We'll update our websites for you, for those of you who follow it on a regular basis to benefit from it. We'll have our videos on the channels. We'll have blog posts as well, articles. We'll have the videos and the programs, etc., posted on the channel. So we'll keep you updated, inshallah, through our websites and our blogs and channels and other means, inshallah. So that's it for now. So we move ahead. We will inform you briefly shortly after this about other activities, but that in another video. So that's it for now. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin.